Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. We're back.
What was that? What was that? You got a little suction going on there or what?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Our Derby season is
Over
over.
for the year.
Yes, for 2023. I think it ended up, like I said last week, 85% satisfied for what it was. Good showings all the way around for the big shows that we got to either watch on pay-per-view, free 99, or go to live in person. It started last spring in Peoria, and it really never slowed down. We got to meet a lot of guys that we had only just kind of Snapchatted or text or, Facebook message, stuff like that. So we appreciate every one of the drivers and promoters that we got to work with in this year of 2023. Great shows. Everyone that we got to partake in, whether it was our first trip to Utah earlier in the year, Peoria, Spring Explosion, Border Wars. You got to rock out South Dakota. Fuck you. I finally get to do one of those. We have kind of talked about that, all the kind of the local drama and the rural difference, and it's not just our area. I mean, it's a lot of different areas, different states. It just seems like a lot of these guys are running fewer local shows than they have in the past, just trying to clear up that schedule for big stuff.
And that's what gets me is like, well, and I'm not knocking it at all, but everybody has got sick of the local drama. And I mean, that is the one thing that keeps coming up over and over again when you talk to these drivers. I am so sick of having to build 6 different fucking cars for 6 different promoters and never know what I'm going to show up to.
Correct. And that we've said it the whole time. Every promoter around our area, at least, is almost in a pissing match or,
who can get more cars?
Dick swinging contest.
Yeah.
And if they would just learn.
Well, it's for the driver.
Correct. If they would just learn to work with other promoters, you would have more fucking cars. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have those 24 cars. You wouldn't have those 34 cars. Everybody would have 60.
Yeah, 50, 60 cars.
Because they don't realize that they work together. They're not getting 4 fucking derbies on a Saturday. They're getting one a month.
Well, what did we say earlier in the year? There was 10 derbies you could have went to in 2 weeks within like an hour and a half of us. Not a one with the same fucking rules. So I understand, if you got guys such as Robin, Trey, and Teddy, Alan, Dalen, and Cody Brown, Twisted T, those guys. Did we see Dalen run a local show at all? Except he didn't even run Pleasant Hill.
No, because he got in at Peoria and then he started working on that car.
Once that Peoria deal started, it was just. And I think a lot of guys, hell, I got Snapchat today. Guys are already dragging shit in for Border Wars.
Hell, everybody I know is building for Spring X.
Yes.
And there's a shitload of guys from around here that are building for Spring X.
Yep.
Well, the fact that they're already building for that show, that means that they're not going to run local shit.
Nope. Possible later, if they have something.
I'm talking starting out.
Correct.
Which is how I based my season.
Yeah.
Was off my first fucking show. I knew I got a season as a promoter we were going to have based off the first show.
Yep. And now these guys, if they don't completely junk their shit at Spring X, they can take it somewhere else. We have kind of conversed with PJ about the mod wire build and Spring X, even the team show stuff. That is pretty damn close to the street stock that probably a few little changes, not horrible, But they can go run that somewhere else, whether it's Sam Williams show, Austin Johnson's show. I mean,
Lucky Sevens.
yes.
Because Lucky Sevens, they knew where the finger needed to be. Mm-hmm. They put it there. They had awesome shows all year.
They paid attention.
They had good shows all year.
All year.
All year. Great shows.
But we talked about that. You know, when you get Henry and Tyler Ray driving wide the fuck open.
Yeah, but they had a good following. You know, there was a few guys from up here that was following.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Eddie Chick went down.
Yeah. Run through the points with them.
Yep.
Michael White.
Yep.
Run through there with them. I mean, they were having good shows. And as with Tommy Stark as a tech, he knows.
He knows what's up.
Whether it be Old Iron or, you know, New Styles, he's been around that shit.
So, I mean, that's just kind of the thing. You know, you finish with a big show. Turkey Derby is this coming weekend over in Indiana as well. I know there's some buddies of ours from Illinois area. They're going to go over there.
I always forget about that show. I feel like shit about it.
Well, yeah. We have talked. We need to get farther east, and we understand that.
Somebody needs to invite us.
But son of a bitch, Thanksgiving weekend, it's on a Saturday. A lot of times people have family shit going on at that same time. And, you know, when you really spend 9 months of following, flying, driving, covering derbies, you kind of got to put that family time in there somewhere, because if not, you're going to get your balls cut off,
Right.
or your mom's going to hate you,
Right.
and then your kids are just going to kick you in the shins for the next 3 months.
Right.
So, man, let's just jump into it. A lot of these shows for 2024 big show stuff
It's already
released. Sign-ups.
Yep. Well, like Carnage, that shit's been out for a minute.
Yep. Registration started in October for that. For
Early October.
For Capital City Carnage.
I think Pecatonica's date's out.
Yep.
Yep.
Border Wars is out.
Border Wars is out.
Southern Illinois Showdown
Spring
is
X.
out. So
Cornhusker Chaos.
now let's hit that, because Cornhusker, JM Derby Products, right up the road. Michael went and invented that last year, and it was an indoor show, and I think it was in like the middle of January. Is that right? I don't want to fact check, but I thought it was like wintertime still. It got
had
changed.
to be wintertime because I wasn't working yet.
Correct. That's what I thought. I thought it was
But I think
before
it was
Carnage.
Fuck, I don't know.
So, Logan Dowie, which we saw him run just a little bit ago. He's got this show, and he is it's a little bit of individuals with a little bit of team show, two-man stuff. Logan has got a lot of support up in that Nebraska area for this show. I know we've got a guy that's coming from New Mexico, I think, to run it.
He's been on my dick.
That is April 5th and 6th. Here is that scenario that we have talked about in the past. Smith Metalworks Expo in Eaton, Ohio is the exact same dates. April 5th and 6th. Another show that has not been released yet is in the month of April as well. Start paying attention to Stern Dirt Racing for anybody that wants to take that trip out to Utah. And then you've got Spring X, April, I think 18th and 19th, or 19th and 20th. All these things are out, man. I mean, the T-Bone's even been announced that it moved the date. You know, Steve Turlow and Lunatic Promotions with the T-Bone, and that has been moved to June 21st and 22nd. He doesn't have any sign-ups or rule changes or anything out yet. if you all really pay attention, guys, especially if you have any of the Snapchats or social media pages, for the people that are going to Spring X, you better watch out. I think there was 5 Missouri cars that did not get to run at Blizzard Bash. Those 5 are going to Spring X. They've already said that. What Taylor is trying to do with Spring Explosion is to make it more of a team show with just a couple little filler classes. In 2023, he had the 4-man Modwire teams, and then the 4-man compacts, and the rest were individual classes. Pay attention to Spring X listings. Pay attention to Derby icons. Taylor is updating everybody. You can actually get on a text list for any updates or changes, and they will text you that as well.
I actually got to talk to him about it.
South Dakota.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he said he had a blast.
At South Dakota.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. Taylor kind of moves behind the scenes a little bit. You know, the stuff is posted all the time, but you will see a lot of the times where Taylor and Josh Delar, Taylor's head tech, will do live feeds where they're got both of them on there talking about what rules, what changes, what would some of the drivers like.
Well, there's so many times that, like whenever we were out there in South Dakota, I had a few people sitting around me. They're like, "Who's that dude out there on that track?"
I bet you they'd recognize him if he was behind a tow truck steering wheel.
Right.
You know.
I was like, "You talking about the fucking ripped up dude?"
Were they talking about Taylor or were they talking about Josh? Because Josh is the one who actually picked up the entire bumper by himself, and it was a factory or a aftermarket pointy bumper,
and carried it
by himself.
Because I was like, "Oh man," I said I wouldn't do that, and I looked down and I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's gonna go ahead and do that." And
you know, we are talking about Josh Delar on that part, but anybody who's been around Josh, whether it's through the tech line at Spring X or Mayhem, Josh is the most straight up dude that you will catch through a tech line. He's a little, how do I put this? He makes you leery to talk shit to him. You know, when you look at Josh. But Josh isn't going to get wound up for no reason. He's not that way. And then, you know, when you go through that tech line and you're looking at Taylor Feldkamp, you're looking at Josh Delar, and you're looking at CJ Barnes. That's
fuck CJ.
Fuck that dude. The guys know what they're looking for. You know, and I think
we talked to CJ last year after they did all that teching, and he said that people weren't really plumb out of line with what they were doing.
Correct.
He said they didn't have any 4-hour cut sheets that they passed out and bullshit like that. I think that the rule set's good enough out there that you don't see a lot of that because, I mean, it's in black and white. Mm-hmm. I mean, did you look at their rule set? There's a lot there.
There is, but not so much on like the stock build.
No.
That was just that half page, you know, nothing crazy.
I'm almost positive, though, that with them doing that, they're putting the faith in the driver to know, well, it doesn't say you can't tilt these motherfuckers. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... But what I enjoy so much is if you are set on wanting to run a big show, you have so many options.
Go run one.
From hobo to full tilt kicker mods at Wasatch County Wipeout.
And if I can get pulled off what I want to, you'll be able to run one right in our backyard.
Mm-hmm. Hell, hold on. You better retract that shit.
I said if I can get it pulled off what I'm trying to.
Okay, because I've said something about kickers and shit. And
hold on.
then you see, there's not going to be one of them guys. So
maybe.
Woo-saw.
Steven wants mod cars. And you're teching them.
It'd be
No, I'm not.
It's so fucking easy to tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a
Look like a car? Fucking stick it.
It kind of looks like a car. Let him have it.
This is not a 5-foot class, guys. Just chill your shit.
If I had a fucking mod show, it would be a 5-foot class.
Man, those hurt to even watch.
Pull them in, stick the motherfuckers.
Just to run what you brung. I've seen it.
Which all the mod cars would show up for that shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they weld for another 2 weeks.
Well,
And they've never been.
It's really just a matter of kickers at that point.
Mm-hmm. Well, you go down south a little bit and watch them 5-foot cars of those outlaw classes, and half them fuckers don't even look like a car. And that's why they call it 5 foot. From 5 foot away, it's supposed to look like a car.
Right.
But when they turtle shell them, and everything is encased in cage and shit. It's just not even
Sand-filled cages and shit.
It's just it's too much.
Shit looks like a mini tank.
That's why the guys who used to run those shows, they can hardly fucking walk now. Or they're in, hell, I've seen some of them that still have to use a walker by the age of 50. Or at least one of them little one-arm fucking canes or whatever. Shit doesn't bend. Something's got to. But you can go run a hobo show or a stock show at Spring X. You can run a stock show at Cornhusker Chaos. You can run a stock show at Capital Carnage, Border Wars, up to a light weld, and everything in between, whether it's a hobo compact,
van,
a minivan,
trucks.
Yes.
Everything's there. Like, if you want to run a big show, there is no reason you don't run a big show other than you.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you are the deciding factor. You as a builder, you as a driver, how far? Okay, Pecatonica is what, 5 hours?
Uh-huh.
Border Wars, 4 hours.
And there's some badass raffles going on right now. I don't know if you've seen
Carnage. Yeah, Carnage is 3.5.
I don't know if you've seen that raffle of Elliott's that's out.
I have not.
Complete car. You get to run it, and then you get to take it home.
Oh shit!
Like $30,000.
Oh, that's Mark Elliott's the Freedom Ride. That's yes.
Did you see that shit?
He did that last year.
Yeah. But have you seen it this year? It's
yes.
for $100, you got a chance
to take home what, like a 15.
And the guy who won it last year, we actually talked to Mark. Lived 2 miles from Henry, Illinois. He was just outside of it. It wasn't his first rodeo, so Mark brought it to him. They met up. I think a couple days before the show, just fine-tuned stuff for him, seat-wise and belts and pedals and adjustments and stuff. And he went out there and he made it through his heat, went straight to the feature, and I think Mark said something a little stupid happened, something out of the ordinary.
It didn't matter. You got to take the fucking thing home.
Correct. Like a $25,000 ride.
It's fully built.
Yeah. And you ain't got to build the fucking thing.
No, and some of the best in the business are building it.
Yep, that be right.
So there's no reason that, there's opportunities out there, people, is what we're saying.
Oh.
And there's just about one every month through the year.
Big shows?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're...
Besides, like, January, February, and December.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you wanted to dig deep enough, there's a show somewhere. Because what's Josh Stock got going on up north? That one that he has in the fucking snow.
Is that...
I don't say it because I'll be fucked up on that. I don't remember what the name of it is.
Isn't there one in January, like Winter Meltdown or something like
hold
that?
On, let me look it up because we got in trouble last year with the same fucking derby.
Yeah.
There's fucking derbies all the time.
So from March, just straight up, guys, from March to June. March, you can start at Capital City Carnage, and you can hit something in March, April, May, June. June 6th to the 8th is Midwest Massacre. There's going to be shit popping up everywhere. If you want to run a big show, you can hit it. You can hit them. From, like I said, from a stock build, hobo build, all the way up to light weld to a mod car. There's something there for you if you want to do it.
It's just up to you.
Just your want and your will, I guess, is the only two. What is it? Air and opportunity? Air's gone. But, you know, what you said. The drama. Not wanting to beat on your buddies. Because 90% of the drama comes from that. Comes from beating on your buddies.
Yes, I'm not gonna argue with you on that at all.
I feel like that happened a lot this year.
Well, it happens all the time.
We have like a lot more this year than past years, but I mean, that's me.
I mean, you know, Steven didn't get to go to Pleasant Hill this year.
I did.
But we talked about it. You know, you got 18 or 20 guys that are 18 of, 3/4 of the field are really good buddies. There's some feelings that is going to get hurt somewhere.
Ice Crush.
Ice Crush.
Yes. Sorry.
That takes balls to go do in January, in Minnesota especially.
I'm trying to get the exact date on it. Because that's that full arena promotions.
You know, so we talked pretty much from March to June. Cannon Falls, Minnesota has a team show put on by NLR.
January 20th.
Wow.
Fucking dead of winter.
In Minnesota.
That's going to be like 0
Yeah.
degrees or 5 or whatever.
Whatever, it's going to be a cold bitch.
You might not be too cold in the car if you can ever get it to build heat. You know, because I'm pretty sure that one is outside. That's not.
It is.
That's not inside.
I've seen the pictures of it.
Yes.
I've seen them run it fucking snow.
Yeah, that's
Studded tires or no?
Tracks.
Something
Something's got to get traction.
with a little deer blind heater in the passenger
Yeah,
floorboard,
little buddy here in the floorboard.
where you can unthaw your fingers, where they're just frozen to your fucking steering wheel or your shifter.
Oh, fuck around. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, there's fucking shows all year long.
We'll hit them. You know us, guys. We'll cover as many as we can.
What is insane to me is we are already running into conflict.
Correct. Twice in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You know, so
I mean, I've run into conflict with Border Wars. We run into the Smith
Metalworks.
Yep.
And that's conflicting Cornhusker Chaos.
And the other Spring X out in Cali.
Mm-hmm. That's the same weekend as Smith Metalworks Expo.
Fuck around.
So there's 3 on the same weekend.
That somebody wants us at. We've been asked to be at all 3 places.
Yes. And that's just April. Fuck, that's just the first week of April. Right off the jump. You know, guys, so hearing us say this, we can't be everywhere at once. We can't.
But if you guys post your results, we can talk about it.
Post your fucking results.
That was not directed toward Lucky Sevens in any way.
No, it was not, Jake and Josh. That was not towards you, so.
You all have beautiful headsets.
You do. You send me updates after the Derby. You get them posted. Hell, when me and Bub went to Eldon in September, Joshua actually messaged me the results before they got posted, just so I could have them. He said, "I'll get them to you. Don't worry about it." I said, "Josh, that was not pointed towards you." So he was like, "I know."
It's cool if dudes pay attention now.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Whenever I say keep your finger on the pulse, I'm not talking about listening to us. I'm just saying you got to know what the fuck's going on around you.
Correct. You know, so all these big shows.
It'd be cool if we could get somebody on here that was the big show.
Was the big show?
Is the big show?
At least twice this in 2023 he was.
Think we gotta get him on here?
Yeah, let's get the little fucker on here.
Give us a second. We will be right back. Well, we've got Mr. 13X, Mr. Big Show, Gold Rush, fucking Mad Dog.
110 award winner, and I truthfully think that made him more appreciative for that show than probably winning it.
He drove like it.
Correct. Mr. Jared Johnson, all the way from Utah. What is up, Bubba?
How are you?
Pretty good, man. So I told you I'd let it give it a little time to simmer.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Gold Rush now?
I think that show, I loved every little bit of it. I mean, I haven't ever done a big show, so it was kind of nice just having a one-and-done heat, not having to pack everything and stuff. But now I feel pretty ready for a big team show, you know, if I had to. Because, you know, I get to see both sides of it, and, I mean, I don't know, I love that show.
Well, I think after the only hiccup that you had that entire week was you should have packed a whole secondary fuel system instead of have Chance Ogden drive it all the way out to you.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I love my fuel pump setup. It looks, I like looks of stuff, and I think it looks good, and I'm like, nope, double pumps, ball valves, all that. Need to get on top of stuff like that. So.
But other than
it was awesome having Chance up there, though.
Oh yeah, I got to run into him. He was dragging a little bit.
Oh yeah.
He was tired.
He showed up. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the hotel and shower real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm like, dude, you can go like sleep. Like, no, we're good.
Well, I got a Snapchat, and that he told me he had to drive that pump out to you, but he had to go to Colorado first with a semi and stuff like that. So he figured up he was going to be up like 36 hours before he even came out to you. So the Snapchat I got was his wife was driving, and he was going to try to get a couple hours sleep. And and I think they left at like, midnight my time, so, 11 o'clock their time. So, and it was still a 12-hour drive. So, it's damn nice to have buddies, ain't it?
What's that?
I said it's damn nice to have buddies, ain't it?
Oh, for sure. Freaking, I kind of keep my circle close, so Chance is freaking awesome. He'll do about anything I ask him.
So
stop everything and go.
So Jared, how did it feel pulling through that tunnel out on that track?
That was pretty kind of unexplainable. Like, you pull in. I mean, growing up, I was watching Blizzard Bash, so it's like, heck yeah, pulling through the tunnel, And then, like, what my thoughts when I was going through it, it's like, I'm probably never gonna like be on that. Like, I shouldn't be in this heat. Like, this is crazy, So, I mean, I was super appreciative and.
Well, dude, what I'm going to tell you right now, after watching you in Wasatch, and then watching you in South Dakota, which me and you had talked, I wasn't going to get to go out. Steven was going to be the only one to make that trip, but I told you I'd be watching from the house. After watching those two shows, I promise you, brother man, you fucking deserve to be there.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm pretty gifted, I feel like, for it. So.
Well, you proved yourself in South Dakota. I mean, you proved that you had what it takes to put your name on the map in a big show setting.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked like a pissed off pinball out there. After you lost steering, it was on.
Yeah.
I mean, you
No,
were
I was actually real impressed with my steering because I put big old ball joints in, and I was looking at my car today and didn't bend one ball joint. My tires are still straight with small centers. The only thing that gave out on my steering was the center link.
which
So,
you're not the first one to lose a center link.
Yeah. I mean, there's no really fixing that, so.
Well, maybe try not to impregnate wagons.
Yeah, that too. I got up under there, and my cradles all got scuff marks on it from that, so.
Well, you were back there for quite a while.
Yeah. Oh, I tried getting off of him for, that whole time, I didn't want to be on him. And if anything, it got deeper. Holy crap.
Well, Eric's wagon was real appreciative when you finally got off.
Oh, yeah. I was so pumped when it came off, but my motor had died. I don't know why. It just shut off. I was like, what the heck? And then he kind of, pushed me around, and that's when he got off. I fired it up, and that's when I hit him head on. And that's when my front end bent up.
So now I'm going to ask you. I'm sure you have probably replayed that heat in your mind 100 times since you have got back home. Is there anything different that you would do? Whether it's the driving, the build process, the car choice, any of that stuff?
Honestly, I think my car was fine. I mean, you throw a really experienced driver in any car, and he can dang near win the show with it. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. You can throw it in a Vic, even a metric GM, and all those guys just freaking wheel it. Well, I don't really have much seat time, but for what I did, I wish I kept my cool a little bit more, but then again, I got the 110% award, and it was worth it for what I did, and I just wish I was a little bit more open to seeing where Parker Lazenby was, because he was picking fights and I didn't really recognize it.
Correct.
He was on the other end, and so wish I could have helped him a little bit more, but.
Well, that's kind of what we talked about. At one time, Tom Russell Jr. and Parker was on one end. Dalen was on the other end, and you were
in the middle
of everything. So I really don't think you guys really had much of a chance to catch your breath, settle down, and see what's going on, because if you did, somebody clear your shit off.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, it was weird because, you go watch a Utah show, everybody's going in circles. And some of the Utah guys, even me, I was doing some circles, And so, at that first, 5 minutes where I didn't really do much, I was just sitting there going back and forth, and I'm like, well, this is just stupid. So that's when I kind of got a little.
And it's just kind of like all you guys got bored at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, all it took was about 3 of you to get bored, and then the rest of the field had to run. There was no choice. So, are you looking forward to trying to get back in there for next year?
Into the Wheelman?
Yeah.
Any of it. Wheelman, team show.
So I think I'm doing teams. I've actually gotten 3 different requests to be on a team. So we'll see what next year brings. But if Heber's another qualifying show for it, I'm gonna shoot for it. But if I don't get in, I'm not too worried either. It's super cool to be in that heat because there's so many good drivers. And then I think throwing in the Mad Dogs the way they did, like you guys were saying on your last podcast, it's a third of the field out there that are Mad Dogs, qualified Mad Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I mean, it could go either way. It's either the really good drivers are going to get them up on the wall or the opposite, you know?
I mean, because we talked about it, you never think seeing Don Santel and Bob Whitaker shoved up on the dirt with no steering.
Yeah. And Parker Lazenby, he was fighting Don at that for like 10 minutes, and he was going in for a shot on Bobby and realized that Don was right behind him, and from what Parker was telling me, Don was like shaking his hand because he like sideswiped him, and it yanked his steering wheel, and I don't know, but something internally broke on his steering box. So like it's stuff you can't really prevent, but it just happens, you know.
Correct. Now, Jared, here's the question I'm going to ask you. So, say you go back to Wasatch or go, Heber, and it's a qualifier. Say you qualify for that, and you have a team. Would you take two? Would you take two cars?
If I had time to build them, I think I'd be more focused on the team car if I was to get on a team. But, I mean, I built this car in 11 days, so I should be able to throw a car together.
What the hell are you building that car for in 11 days? You spent 11 days in Missouri, fool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I kind of maybe got a little earpiece that told me a couple of you guys might be coming back next September.
Yeah, something. Dalen, he said you guys should make a trip like once a year out here. I was like, dude, I'd love to.
Dalen's going to get you into some shit. I'm just going to tell you that.
From what I know, they aren't doing the same heats, are they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard that through the grapevine, and I don't know. That class was pretty sweet. I mean, everything out there. I felt like that was more harder driving than Utah. Like that was just straight up nuts.
Well, that's the problem when you get 20 wing nuts on the same track at one time and they're all kind of loose screws anyways. That puts on for a hell of a show when you got about half the guys at Utah that drive that way.
Well, like I said, I hope that you're out there at Wasatch because I think we're going to be there.
Oh, I'll be there. Whether I have a car or not, I'll be there.
Because I've been talking...
No, with just quitting my job, I got a lot of free time now. I have until the end of the year to build cars just for fun, and then hopefully find a job. I mean, I can work with my dad whenever, so I got a bunch of time on my hands now.
Did you sell that much merchandise or what?
No, I did not. I saved up when I was in Oregon, so.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Well, man, we don't want to bother you too much. We wanted to get you on here and talk about your run out there and kind of what you had in store. We appreciate it, and I'm sure we will be in touch again.
Okay.
Next
I
one
appreciate you guys.
Next one will be live again, though. Deal?
What's that?
The next one will be live instead of over the phone. Deal?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, brother. We're going to give you a shout, man.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one, buddy.
We'll see you.
All right, later.
Well, there he was.
That is, we kind of spoke while we were waiting to get him on, where he is located in Delta, Utah. It's right next to Richfield. What he says, Big Show, son of a bitch, Wasatch County is a big show. I mean, is it South Dakota? No.
No, but what he said, see, like, that's a local show to him.
Correct. But for the rest of the country, for the other fucking 49 states, it's Holy shit.
I love talking to that dude because he is like the most real.
He's the humblest motherfucker, and people. When we walked up to Dalen's shop, and Chance was standing there, and Jared had a weld mask on or something. He don't stop. He's just like a fucking little bang, 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 bang. He's a pinball.
Yes.
Or a beer pong ball, or whatever you want to call him. He's just so chill.
Because he's real. Like what
Yes.
you heard right there is that dude right face to face.
Yep. Yes.
Because he's like, I'm terrible at these things. And I was like, you're really not
Yeah.
bad. But no, he had a cool killer run out there. You can tell that he got pissed off and was turning it all the way up.
Yeah, I mean, he's talked
and not
about
even pissed off, bored.
correct. Like, fuck this. He's given up to Keller Racing Engines.
Have you? Did you get to see? Like, did they do any close-ups on his car after the show?
No,
It wasn't that bad.
Mm-mm.
Like
It looked like it.
End up.
It looked like it bent in the right spot up front.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, if the center line hadn't broke, he would have been able to wheel that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were kind of looking at it after the Derby, because I walked over there and slapped that sticker on that bitch, and he was like, "I think I can have this fixed, like now."
Now, give me like 10 minutes, and let's go again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, guys. Okay. He's 19. He's 19 years old. Goes to, in my opinion, the biggest stage of 2023.
For sure, one of them.
And full sent that bitch.
Yeah.
We've never saw a square body Ford try to impregnate
A wagon.
a Chevy wagon.
Not like that.
Not for that amount of time.
Right.
You've seen him try to do something with them, and they'll lock, loose steering or.
And then you've got,
Snoop.
I mean, like all those guys from out that direction drove like that out there.
Jared,
Parker.
Lesby, Tom Russell Jr.
Yes. It was cool.
Yeah. I just like talking to good dudes.
Well,
That's the difference. You like in South Dakota, you got to talk to Casey and Marty and
Chance and all those guys. Tom. I got to talk to all these guys.
yeah, Casey Seeloff and
Yes.
Tom Russell. So just what I get to talk to over Snapchat, other than Chance and Jared, or Messenger. You finally got to put names
To faces.
and voice, because a lot of people, they'll hear our voice. I've had this same voice right now roughly for 2 fucking months.
Right.
So if anybody's just caught our podcast and then they meet me in the spring where I have a voice back, they're like, man, you don't even sound the same. Well, shit happens. COVID happens. So that is a kid of 19, like I said, from Delta, Utah, that took that chance, took a wagon that was stupid nasty to Wasatch in a heavy build, and then proved what he can do at South Dakota. And I'm not lying. Jared, you're going to start coming to Missouri once a year. Dalen's going to get you in trouble.
Uh-huh.
He's going to send him home with cars and motors and shit. Don't do it. But do it. Come and hang out. I love to hang out with him.
For sure. For sure.
There, while we're on the subject of South Dakota, I got a couple Snapchats and messages. You got a couple Snapchats and messages. Ryan Songalewski, Dave Meyer, Mason Larson, and Gage Sumner did not have hump plates.
No, they went the spindle route.
They went the spindle route. So we just wanted to clarify that up.
Jared was actually the one that texted me. He was like, hey, man.
Yeah, I got one Thursday from that east side of the river. Said, hey, okay, yeah, we'll fix that. So, retract that statement. No hump plates. Still lost a wheel.
Yep. Shit happens.
A guy who you never see lose a wheel.
Shit happens.
Yes. So.
Especially when you're turning up. What's that saying? Shit happens when you party naked.
That right. Two hands and still got something sticking out. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am not sure which direction we're going to go next week.
Well,
Because like I said, I've got some females that have agreed to get on. Next week might be the time to do that. Because there's several in the sport, more so now than I would say ever.
a lot more.
Because you get, they used to run powder puff. Yes, that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one around here that is not scared to run with the guys whatsoever. She shows up to a lot of derbies.
We have a couple from that same town
Yeah.
that started with a family member that I watched her whip the shit out of dudes.
Yeah.
You witnessed it too.
Yeah. So maybe we can get a couple of them on here. That social stigma that's there. Not saying that it's bad. You know, I mean, there's discrimination everywhere.
Yeah, fuck them.
That's what we've talked about this whole time.
Yes. It's cool to see the point of view from a different side.
100%. 100%.
You know, what are they able to do in the shop? Are they doing it? Are they building it from start to finish? You know, stripping it, welding it, doing whatever they got to do. Or they have their help from their husband, kids,
Dads, uncles,
yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
You know, like Star said that she had grabbed a random person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, hey, can you...
Can you weld? Yeah, well, get your ass in here. Weld it. But that was her. You know, she said she did everything else, but she's not. She didn't trust her ability
Right.
of a build with her safety.
Right. No, I mean, that's understandable. And I know guys like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'll weld anything until it comes to that cage, and they're like, you know what? I really don't know if my welds will hold 40-mile-an-hour door shots. Because it happens.
And I've seen some people that just can't fucking weld.
My shit usually sticks. It just doesn't look very good.
And mine's hit or miss. Like, it will always hold, but it does not look pretty.
Yeah, I haven't had one break off yet, but it's ugly. I haven't even informed you yet. We are going to be going east of the river.
Yep, I heard. Yeah, you did. You told me.
Did I?
It was before my phone broke. The iPhone 15, the titanium one, is not as tough.
Even with a life-proof case on it. Yeah, it's
I wasn't even drunk.
You weren't even the one that did it.
1 minute it was there, the next minute.
Was it the 2-year-old?
I don't know. Might have been the 4-year-old.
Or
Might have been the 12-year-old. I don't know. Might have been the 25-year-old.
Possible. Very possible. But guys, there's so much opportunity, and we can't push that enough. There's so much opportunity for you guys to go try it. Just try it once. All these guys that have been saying, man,
You might like it.
I've been talking about it. I've been really thinking about it. Man, I'd like to go try Big Show.
We'll do it.
The fucking opportunities are plentiful where you want to go. And you don't have to build out of your realm.
No, because there's enough. You can do some looking, and even within a reasonable distance. You know, if you're willing to drag that 4 hours, you can find something
A lot.
within your realm of build where you're not. Because you know that was the case 5 years ago. A lot of guys were like, "Man, I don't fucking build to that."
Correct.
You know, I've never built a fucking full tilt mod car or.
Yep.
You know, the street stock brace rear end shit's not what I build.
Man, I'd love to run light weld, but I don't have any protectors. Fucking guess what?
Street stock, baby.
Bingo.
Ding, ding, ding,
And they're
ding.
plentiful.
Yeah.
They're so plentiful.
Because that's what everybody in Missouri said. Well, the fucking street stock class died, and I was like, maybe here.
Correct. Yeah, it's just pull some protectors off, and you're pretty much game on. So,
because like a lot of these light weld classes, they are a light weld build, minus the full credit.
But it depends on the area that you're talking about, because we'll see some of them, what we're used to in a light weld. And when Utah says light weld, that's off for what we're used to.
Well, and we talked about this whenever we went to Utah. Those builds are not any, like, I don't know what class I would call those. Because they're almost a street stock. Like, the hardest class that they had at Day of Reckoning was a street stock for us.
Correct. And their wired class is a hobo big car here. Maybe even less than a hobo.
Stock motors. They were stock motors, transmissions, rear ends.
Correct.
A lot of them didn't have headers on them.
Yes.
Oh, you're almost talking a gut and go full size.
Gut and go full size. Because that hobo was just a little bit of step up above that.
Yeah, because
gut
a lot
and
of
go.
times you're allowed a couple plates. You can hard nose them.
Couple bumper brackets you can weld the bumpers on, all that shit. Swap motors out if need be.
Man, I'm thinking about starting to do giveaways whenever we incorporate our name in describing something, if somebody can pick it out.
Correct.
Like whenever they say the movie title in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is a good day to die. He did it.
Anybody who has us on Facebook saw a post the other day. Once we had 2,000 followers, we were going to do a giveaway.
And it's my virginity.
We haven't even. You got me all fucked up now.
I was giving away a long fucking time.
Couple kids say you've had it at least 3 times. This giveaway, I think what we're going to try to do, if a Derby driver wins it, if a Derby driver wins the giveaway, we're going to get you in contact with Justin Broadhead. And Mr. Justin, I didn't even text Justin yet. So if a Derby driver wins the giveaway, door wraps and a roof sign.
Yep.
Paid for by Hard Nosed Derby Podcast, shipped straight to your door. If you are not a Derby driver, we will load you up with some swag. 4-in-1 koozie of your choice, whether it's the new pink and gray or the green and gray. Probably a 20-ounce skinny cup as well.
Soft-sided koozies.
Yep. Keychain. It's roughly going to be roughly about the same price, either or. But I just know a Derby driver, most of the time they want some cool shit to put on a car. That will be out this week.
Yes.
And exact.
And
it's hard to do when you got 2,000 fucking people you got to give this option to.
right.
I guess you can do a random, but
That's
then
what I'm thinking.
yeah, somehow. But pay attention, guys. I mean, this is going to air Thursday. We will probably do a Facebook Live of some sort this week to let you know how it's going to work.
We'll let this episode drop, so it won't actually be
Correct.
this week. It'll be in the
Correct.
following week.
Catch us on Thanksgiving weekend, maybe, and we might be able to get a little bit more something lined up for you.
Yep, drop and
Yep.
all that shit. So
Yep. So, guys,
whenever this drops, I just hope that everybody was safe the night before.
well, what's everybody call it? Drunksgiving?
It is, because the most alcohol sold in the United States is the day before Thanksgiving.
I just never really got to partake in that holiday because I wanted food. I wanted food the next day, and I didn't want to be hungover and feel like dog shit.
Well, that's why you get up and start drinking again.
Well, it's kind of hard to do with my family because most of the time, if you're dealing with my family, you want to drink anyways. And then you're drunk by noon, and that's not ever a good thing. Is it, Mr. Deadwood?
You can't start day drinking if you don't start in the morning.
Well, you can't drink all day if you don't start. first.
That is right. That is right.
You'll just fit in better.
She's got a point. She does have a point. So, guys, thank you for getting us to 2,000. I'm roughly saying within 3 minutes of the post, it was well over that.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody who has hung out with us in 2023. We had no idea it was going to get to the point where it is now. The next episode will have a sponsor plug for it. Correct.
Maybe 2.
Yep. And they will, we hit on it before. So this sponsor plug, there is going to be a discount code. That the only way that you're going to know that discount code is if you listen exclusively. Yeah. We're not going to post it on Facebook. We're not going to do a Facebook Live. You have to get that code from the podcast episode to use it. Uh-huh. It's not a whole lot, but 10% is better than 0%.
It is. 10%
off. On something that is probably cheaper than you can get anywhere else around anyways.
100%.
We have priced that stuff, so we know what kind of a price range he's in compared to the other companies that do the same thing. So,
and again, not knocking any of the other companies.
No, hell no.
This dude has helped us more than you all can even imagine.
Yep. Yeah. So, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Eat your turkey. Be merry and be well.
I don't know if I'm supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving.
You are pretty fucking Indian. Not the dot one either.
Right.
I don't know how that works for you, fool. Whatever. But like I said, happy Thanksgiving, guys, from us to you.
The fuck you want to go.
Correct. How was it? Kwanzaa? I don't know all that shit.
That's Christmas.
Is it?
I think so.
I watched too many Friday. I watched too many Friday movies. So, you got any last words?
No.
None?
I've got nothing.
Make junk, boys.